This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Governor Fubara to implement 8-point peace agenda. Delta government promises improved welfare in 2024. APC releases Assembly by-elections timetable. NSML, NIMASA partner to train 150 NSDP cadets. Ukraine shot down 28 of 31 Russia drones. Beyonce's childhood home catches fire. CAF announces kickoff date for AFCON qualifiers. Now to the rest of our story. Rivers State Governor Fubara therefore assured that he will implement the spirit and letters of declaration in a manner that will restore political stability in the state. The governor said he is convinced to do so because the worst peace is better than the best war. Governor Fubara described as natural the mixed reaction expressed by Rivers people and most Nigerians over the peace pact, and said that as a principal participant in the entire saga, he believes that the peace pact is not as bad as it is being portrayed by those genuinely opposed to it. The governor said it is certainly not a death sentence because it offers some way towards a lasting peace and stability in our dear state. Governor Fubara asserted that his administration has successfully confronted the challenges of governance, made some progress within just 7 months, and completed inherited projects, with others nearing complete. The governor, who restated continuity and consolidation as the mantra of his administration, vowed not to allow anything to stop him from providing a steady flow of the dividends of democracy in all positive ramifications to Rivers people.
Accordingly, I reaffirm my acceptance of the Presidential Peace Proclamation and my commitment to implementing both the spirit and the letter of the declaration in such a way and manner that will restore political stability to our dear state without compromising the collective interests of our people and our cherished and shared democratic value. Already, both parties have demonstrated some goodwill in the implementation process with the withdrawal of the purported impeachment notice on their part and the release of hitherto withheld allowances of the members of the State's House of Assembly by the government. I have said before, there is no price too much to pay for peace. And with the realization that the worst peace is better than the best war, we will strive to make peace with all segments and interest groups without surrendering our freedom or jeopardizing the interests and well-being of the good people of Rivers State, who graciously entrusted us with their cherished mandate. Our dear President has demonstrated that he loved Rivers State and cherished nothing short of a reign of perfect peace in our states with his Presidential Peace Proclamation on the 18th of December 2023. Mr. President's Peace Proclamation has naturally elicited mixed reaction from our people and across the country. As a principal participant in the entire saga, I have taken some time to study the terms therein and have come to the conclusion that the peace path is not as bad as it might be portrayed by those genuinely opposed to it. It is certainly not a death sentence. It affords some way towards a lasting peace and stability in our dear states. The mantra of our administration is continuity and consolidation. I wish to reiterate that nothing shall constrain us from our part in our commitment to provide a steady flow of the dividend of democracy in all positive ramifications to our dear states. I am proud to say that we have successfully confronted the challenges of governance and have made measurable progress in the last 7 months of our administration with various laudable projects and programs, some completed, some ongoing, and others at an advanced stage of completion. By the grace of God, 2024 will witness a speedy transformation of our state with the completion of most of our projects and programs, such as section of the Port Harcourt Ring Road, the Andoni section of the Unity Road, the Ahoda Omok Road, the Emowa Degema Road, and others, and the commencement of many other laudable projects, both in infrastructure and human capital development, as outlined in our 2024 budget.
Former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uchechi Secondus, urged President Bola Tinubu to play the role of a true statesman while intervening in the political crisis in Rivers State. Uche Secondus, in his Christmas message signed by his state media aide, Ike Adonyi, said with particular reference to the crisis in Rivers State, the former PDP boss contended that the intervention of President Bola Tinubu must be by the spirit and letter of our constitution for it to be implementable. Speaking on Atlantic Television Blowout, a public affairs analyst, Ernest Roland Douglas, blamed the lingering Rivers crisis on insensitivity of some public office holders and politicians.
This crisis in a proper perspective. Who has generated this crisis? And who are the beneficiaries? As at this moment, the Rivers people are suffering for no just cause. Election is over. We're talking about governance. And then we keep having different sets of people. We have political leaders, we have traditional rulers, who I thought would have taken this crisis holistically and addressed it the way it should be properly. We've now gone beyond that, taking it even to the president, whom I thought should also understand the constitutional role, that he has an executive power with immunity, so is the governor. And shouldn't have. He should have played more like a father role by asking the FCT minister to stay off. Let this young man who has been saddled with this, I can bet you, in 2024, this issue is going to be carried over. Because what has happened is that the greed in our political leaders, the selfishness in our political and traditional leaders, and even the religious leaders that I felt should also intervene, have all been subsumed on individual and group interest, and not on altruistic interest, which is the benefit of the Rivers people, who in the midst of abundance are suffering. And we've just had the governor giving 100,000 to all the civil servants. Now the local government chairmen are also doing the same, to show that we've got the resources to make us happy, not only individually, but also collectively. We have all our industries shut down for over 8 years. And that is where a lot of these youths that are going on the streets should be fully engaged.
He emphasized on the need to revamp the existing economic infrastructures in the state in order to help generate jobs among youths for a better Nigeria and not to politic at the detriment of Rivers people.
We have all our industries shut down for over 8 years. And that is where a lot of these youths that are going on the streets should be fully engaged. We've got a lot of road networks from Eche and Oyigbo and the Trans-Calabar areas that will enhance economic activity and generate a good IGR for the state. Nobody's talking about it. We're rather centralizing an individual who has had uninterrupted 8 years, and his 8 years was so, left, a bitter taste in the mouth of Rivers people. We talked about situations where areas where employment were given, like hotels and filling stations and event centers, he shut them off. He shut them down. He revoked some of them. These are all issues we don't want to be reminded. And now we have been privileged. He brought in the man. Some of us, we are not happy with the way his situation, of his emergence. But God works in mysterious ways. The man has come and is beginning to do what the Rivers people want. And then all of a sudden, this man and his group of people are coming to tell us, Rivers people of almost 6 million, that they would decide what is going to happen to our common wealth. It's not going to happen. So Secondus and others, please, they should save us these interest comments that they make. Rivers people are insisting that we need good governance, and the good governance symptoms have already started, and we want to support it. That's my take.
Wife of Rivers State Governor Lady Valerie Fubara has advised parents to devote more time to inculcate the right attitude in their children in appreciation to God, who has entrusted them in their care. Lady Fubara gave the advice when she visited University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital and Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, all in Port Harcourt, to felicitate with babies born on Christmas Day in these hospitals on Monday. The governor's wife, who shared gifts to the babies born on Christmas Day and other children in the wards, visited, thanked God for the safe delivery of the children, and congratulated their parents and the hospitals. Speaking further, Lady Fubara said that Christmas is a very important event in Christendom and urged Christians to emulate the life of Christ in all ramifications. Parents of the babies born at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, Mr. and Mrs. Akani Jine Okechukwu Eda, and the mother of the one born baby at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, Mrs. Lillian Ifueze, expressed gratitude to the wife of Governor Fubara for coming to share in their joy and blessing their baby with gifts. Reports reaching Atlantic Television Network news desks say popularly hotel in Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State, Emerald Hotel, has been gutted by fire. The hotel is situated at Rumola in Obiapo local government area of Rivers State. It is, however, unclear how the actual cause of the inferno, but our correspondent who monitored the incident reports that a section of the building, the Bush Bar, was raised down by the inferno. At first time, no fire service personnel was seen at the scene of the incident. We shall bring more details of the story in our subsequent bulletin. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oberwari has congratulated Deltans and Nigerians as they join the rest of the world in commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ. Governor Oberwari's message of felicitation is contained in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Sir Festus Ahon. On Sunday in Asaba, the governor urged Christians to use the occasion to offer special prayers to God for a more peaceful and united state and country. The governor, while saying that Christmas was a season to show love and care for one another, urged Nigerians to use the season to eschew bitterness and work for the unity and progress of the country. According to him, only a peaceful nation could attract investment and development, assuring that his administration would continue to leverage the prevailing peace in the state to ensure equitable development across the state. Governor Oberwari further remarked that Christmas is not only a time for celebration, but also for displaying the virtues of love and sacrifice that Christ symbolizes. While assuring a peaceful Christmas celebration, the governor reiterated his administration's resolve to pursue more people-oriented programs and policies that would improve the well-being of the people. Governor Umar added to him, as part of measures to put smiles on the faces of workers during this period, government had paid the 13th month's salary to all workers in the state. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Command in Cross Rivers says a total of 2.05 tons of hard drugs were seized from drug peddlers between January and December in the state. The state commander, Rachel Umebwali, made the disclosure in an interview with newsmen in Calabar on Monday. Umebwali, who is also the commander of narcotics, also disclosed that 223 suspects were also arrested in connection with the seizure made in the year under review. While noting that the suspects included 22 females and 201 males, the commandant listed the seized hard drugs to be cannabis, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and psychotropics. According to her, 1.64 tons of cannabis were seized, while cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and psychotropics account for 3.5 gram, 4.3 gram, 81.9 gram, and 410.24 kg respectively. She further explained that the command secured conviction of some of the suspects, while some of the arrested suspects were also discharged and acquitted by the court. The narcotics commander, who bemoaned rising causes of drug abuse among the youths, identified vehicles and motorbikes as the peddler's mode of operation. Public Relations Officer ASP Maureen Chinaka stated that the operation, which led to the rescue and arrest of 8 suspects, was accomplished through the Abia Police Command's technical intelligence, supported by the Department of State Services. Speaking on Atlantic Television Society Watch, a public affairs analyst, Dr. Nweke Emmanuel Onyeka, expressed sadness at the security situation in Nigeria.
A salutary moment to the security formation of the country. It is a thing of concern that persons of suspicious people want to become tenants in any place. They used to sign what they call a agreement, tenancy agreement. Part of it should include what the person does for a living, you know. Then probably a little bit of background coming from their former address. This will help to begin to go for inquiries, right? Then we say probably the landlord or the owner, those who run the facilities, will have to find out the pedigree of these individuals, because most of the persons we call violent criminals, they have places where they live, but probably unidentified by those who own the facilities they rent. So this will be an eye-opener, a salutary moment to...
Speaking further, he advised parents and guardians to ensure their guests are verified before exposing their wards.
Like you asked, it's not everybody that comes to your house. You tell your children to call uncle and auntie. Growing up in primary 1, they told us that uncle is your father's or mother's brother, while the auntie is your father's or mother's. So you call the person by his name, Mr. Joe. He's not your uncle.
Okay.
You don't call people that are not your uncle. That will give, there is subtle psychology to it. You just lure the child into thinking that I'm your uncle now, I'm your uncle, and then the child is feeling sense of safety while the person has a criminal intent. So the point is that then you also tell them, you call the person who he is. He's not related to you, because the person will come with a sense of relationship, that you are related, and it takes a child to wherever that will not be fair enough. Some of them are also pedophiles. Some of these persons, you don't know their sexual background. Some of them take pleasure in defiling children. I hope you know that. So it will not be the best to allow your children in the hands of strangers. Strangers will mean those who you do not know for too long. Those you do not know their alternate address. Not know their friends, where they work, what they do for a living. These persons could be regarded.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma has, in the spirit of Christmas celebration, urged the people of Imo State to renew their love for the state, nation, and humanity. In a Christmas message signed by the Chief Press Secretary, Oguwike Nwachukwu, the governor further urged Christians to take love and joy as critical elements in the celebration of Christmas, synonymous with God's love for mankind, that he made him send his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, to be born and later sacrificed. Governor Uzodimma reminded the people of the efforts of the government is making at the state and national levels to make life worth living for Nigerians, promising that the future has lots of better things in stock for everyone. He said despite the hardship in Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu means well for Nigerians and that his reforms would sooner rather than later yield positive results. Acting Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has called on the people to pray for the ailing governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, and the state. Aiyedatiwa, in his message to the Christians and the people of the state, congratulated them on the Christmas celebration. He promised the people that Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu-led administration would continue to formulate and implement people-oriented and impactful policies and programs towards the development of the state. The message, which was signed by him, reads in part, "On this joyful occasion of Christmas, I extend my best wishes to the Christian community and the entire people of Ondo State." Also, the ruling All Progressives Congress in the state has urged its members and people of the state to celebrate Christmas with the hope of advancing to a prosperous new year. The party stated this in a message signed by its publicity secretary, Alex Kalijaye, in Akure, the state's capital. Kalijaye commended members of the party for their understanding and personal sacrifices for the development of the state and the nation at large. Governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Ogun State, Oladipo Adebutu, said his team of lawyers have successfully filed an appeal before the Supreme Court over the March 18 governorship election in the state. The governor hopefully said this on Monday in his Christmas message signed by his media aide, Afolabi Orekoya. In a statement, Adebutu disclosed that he had filed his appeal at the Apex Court, expressing optimism that justice will be served. It will be recalled that Adebutu had earlier challenged the election victory of Governor Dapo Abiodun of the All Progressives Congress, APC, at the tribunal, citing alleged overvoting, gross misconduct, disenfranchisement, non-compliance with the Electoral Act, as well as non-compliance with the margin of lead principle. The court affirmed the governor's election to the appeal court. Adebutu, who just returned to Nigeria from the United Kingdom, said he was back home to celebrate Christmas with his people. He also appealed to the people to celebrate moderately with friends and families while hoping that our victory is near and around the corner. Leadership of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria in Osun State have been given 7 days to call off their ongoing strike or face legal action. The ultimatum was issued on Osun Jusun by a non-governmental organization, the World Institute for Peace. The group's executive director, World Institute for Peace, Lamina Omotoyosi, gave the warning during a press conference on Monday in Osogbo, Osun State capital. According to Omotoyosi, the ongoing strike by Jusun in the state has disrupted the judicial process and denied citizens their right to a fair and timely trial. He noted that the strike undermined the principles of justice and hampered the overall functioning of the legal system. Recall that Jusun, the state declared an indefinite strike after they complained of mishandling of their members by personnel of the Osun Police State Command, who were protecting the state's chief judge, Oyebola Adepele Ojo, from accessing her office. The Jusun members had in November embarked on the protest to demand action against allegations of mismanagement and maladministration against Justice Ojo. People's Democratic Party Governors Forum on Monday celebrated Governor Oluseyi Makinde of Oyo State on his 56th birthday. The forum chairman, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, celebrated Makinde in a statement issued by the Forum Director General Cyril Maduabum in Abuja on Monday. Mohammed said that the forum celebrated Makinde's sterling performance in office as Governor of Oyo State in over 4 years. This, according to him, was evident in life impacting projects in infrastructure, education, agriculture, healthcare service delivery, power generation, SME funding, security and safety, a wholesome transformation strategy for generational change. He said that the forum celebrated Makinde's valuable contributions in his capacity as vice chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and the growth of the nation. Mohammed prayed for more divine guidance for Makinde generally in the line of service. He assured Makinde of the forum's unalloyed support as he presides over the affairs of his state. Federal State Governor Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia has charged staff of the Benue Internal Revenue Service to intensify their efforts towards improving the internally generated revenue of the state to complement his administration's developmental agenda. Alia made the call while declaring open a two-day retreat with the theme Taxation for Common Good, organized by BIRS in conjunction with the Chartered Institutes of Taxation Nigeria in Makurdi. The governor expressed dissatisfaction with the low revenue profile of the state. Alia, who was represented by Commissioner for Finance, Honorable Mike Ogleba, said urgent steps need to be taken by the management of the agency to improve the state's IGR. In a welcome remark, Acting Executive Chairman of BIRS, Emmanuel Agema, expressed the agency's determination to formulate policies and programs that would leverage on the political will of the present administration to turn the situation around. He said such a retreat for staff of the Revenue Agency was long overdue, considering the pivotal role the organization has to offer the development of the state. Agema charged participants to give their best to complement government's efforts towards developing the state. On his part, Chairman of CITN Makurdi District, Sunday Odagba, expressed his appreciation for BIRS for the collaboration and promised continued support to the agency, describing the retreat as a right step in the right direction. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed says that his administration is committed to protecting lives and property of people living in the state. He made the pledge in his goodwill message of the occasion of 2023 Christmas celebration on Monday in Bauchi. The governor said the state government is synergizing with security agencies to tackle real and perceived threats to security of lives and property of the citizenry by providing logistics and other support for effective and efficient operations. He listed infrastructure, education, health, economic empowerment, and all other programs that have been direct bearing on socio-economic well-being as areas that would receive a boost. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end. Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. 51 inmates of Yode Party Correctional Center in Adamawa State have been confirmed to be infected with scabies. According to the state's epidemiologist, Damba Quinke, the first case was recorded in August 2023. He further revealed that investigations revealed that some of the individuals held in the Criminal Investigation Department at the State Police Headquarters were among those who had contracted the disease, including the index case. Quinke also revealed that scabies is caused by an infestation of parasitic mites that cause intense itching to the skin. The state epidemiologist, who urged the authorities of the correctional center to promote hygiene amongst staff and inmates to prevent the outbreak from spreading further, added that Yode Party Correctional Center is currently the only facility in the state which recorded cases of scabies. Responding to the outbreak, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health, Isua Misali, delivered health kits and sanitary materials to the correctional center to help address the issue. The correctional center received 16 different health items, including sulfur ointment, sanitizers, face masks, hypo, hand wash, cotton wool, medicated soap, hard-duty gloves, ORS, and calamine lotions. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farid Labaja has reassured the Nigerian Army's resilience and readiness to adequately strengthen its capacity with necessary fighting equipment and enablers against the nation's enemies. He described the coming year to the Army as one with lofty strategic commitment and dedication to overcoming security challenges. He said the Army was poised to driving a responsive training and motivation approach to further brace its capacity and responsibility as an institution. Labaja made the remarks on Christmas Day at the 8th Division Headquarters, Giginya Barracks, Sokoto, while joining other personnel and families to celebrate the occasion and New Year's season. He said the Army was fast bracing to calibrate efforts towards ensuring the protection of the country's territorial integrity. Labaja, who noted that the country was faced with challenges in delivering its core responsibility, vowed that nothing was unsurmountable, while adding that the NA headquarters will continue to build its physical and moral capacity as well as fighting power through driving responsive synergy with other agencies for safety and peaceful activities to thrive in the country. Death toll from killers attacks on some communities in Boko and Bakin Ladi local government areas of Plateau State has risen to 76. It is reported that on Sunday, about 16 persons were killed in Mushu village in Boko's local government area. According to the spokesperson for Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, the attack took place on Saturday night while residents of the community were asleep. Monday, Kasa, the Transition Implementation Committee chairman of Boko's local government area, confirmed this to newsmen, saying that the attacks on the two local government areas took place on Saturday and lasted into Sunday. He explained that several houses were burned by the assailants, who also went away with farm produce belonging to the residents, saying that the casualty figure was increasing and that corpses were still being recovered by security agents, vigilantes, and hunters combing the forest for missing persons. Eight killed, 4 wounded, 2 others abducted as terrorist attack a Sena village. No fewer than 8 persons have reached their early graves after a terrorist gang armed with sophisticated weapons attacked GBA local government area of Katsina State. During the attack, 4 persons, according to eyewitnesses, were said to have been wounded and 2 others declared missing. A resident told newsmen on Monday that the terrorists, in their large numbers, attacked the victims on their way back from Kruka Babangida village to Yan Gaya community. He explained that those killed, ranging between 22 to 47 years, are all of Yan Gaya village and had been buried on Monday morning, according to Islamic rites. The police spokesman in the state, ASP Abubakar Sadiq, also confirmed the incident to our correspondent via telephone call. Sadiq, however, didn't give more details but promised to get across the details surrounding the incident. GB is located along the Nigerian border with Niger. With Niger, the local government also shares border with Basari, Kayata, Katsina, Batagarawa, and Zurmi local government areas. Coalition of Arewa Youth Association has tasked Christians to pray for peace and national unity during the Christmas celebrations. The president of the group, Suleiman Musa, in a Christmas message on Monday in Kaduna, enjoined Christians not to forget the plenty of challenges facing the nation in their prayers during the Christmas celebrations. Musa also urged the federal government to take urgent steps towards addressing the current hardships being faced by the citizenry. Leader of the Kwankwasia political camp, the presidential candidate of the new Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, on Monday, held a special prayer session at his Kano residence. Supreme Court, led by a 5-member panel of justices, presided by Justice Iyango Koro on Thursday, December 21st, reserved judgment after listening to lawyers in the matter. The prayer, which was organized by an Islamic group, Master 2 Kwasia, was aimed at seeking God's intervention ahead of the anticipated Kano governorship dispute verdict by the Supreme Court. The prayer was led by Malam Yahya Sufi, Malam Ashir Ta'ala, Malam Bazalahi Nasiru Kabara, and Malam Sadiq Isiyaku Rabiu. While observing the prayers, the clerics prayed for the success of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf at the Supreme Court and the sustenance of peace and tranquility in the state. The prayer session was also attended by some cabinet members of the incumbent administration, other political appointees, and supporters of the Kwankwasia movement. The majority of the new Nigeria People's Party in Kano State had equally observed special fasting and called for intense prayers shortly after the Supreme Court hearing. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has advised against the rush to migrate abroad, urging Nigerians to stay back and fight for the country. Musa advised against the Japa syndrome on Monday when he visited alien personnel at the Defense Headquarters Abuja Hospital to mark Christmas and his birthday. He urged all to exhibit love for the country, adding that running away is not a solution. The CDS also called on Nigerians to take ownership of the challenges facing the country, adding that security challenge should not be left for the armed forces and other security agencies. According to him, insecurity calls for collective effort, and all Nigerians should put hands together to address the challenge. Christmas is said to be celebrations of the birthday of Jesus Christ, who, for humanity's sake, gave himself to be born to mark his birthday, remembering the redemption he brought into the world. Our Abuja correspondent Joseph Moses, who visited some churches in Abuja for Christmas celebration, reports. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has urged Nigerians to have faith in God and Nigeria. Jonathan disclosed this in his 2023 Christmas message on Monday on his official X handle. He emphasized the season's significance in fostering unity and rebuilding the nation. Jonathan encouraged citizens to uphold moral principles, exhibit faith, and contribute to the country's progress through acts of love and kindness. The 14th President of Nigeria urged Nigerians to give hope to the hopeless during this period. People's Democratic Party has urged Nigerians to use the occasion of Christmas to strengthen the bond of love and unity in spite of the present hard times. PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunaba made the call in a statement on Sunday in Abuja to commemorate Christmas, the festival of the birth of Jesus Christ. Ologunaba urged Nigerians to continue to read their Bibles keepers, especially at this trying time, and not allow the hardship and difficulties to change their caring nature. He expressed heartfelt concerns for Nigerians who could not travel home to celebrate with their loved ones and families due to the economic situation and high cost of living as a result of high price of petrol. He called on the National Assembly to be on the side of the people by cutting all provisions for luxury items in the 2024 budget and channels such funds sectors had direct bearing to the well-being of Nigerians. Presidency, through the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuru Ngelale, has said neither President Bola Tinubu nor the party which he belongs to, the All Progressives Congress, can build Nigeria alone. He said building a Nigeria that works for over 200 million people requires the input of every citizen regardless of political affiliation. Reacting on Atlantic Television, Open Conversation, a socio-political analyst, Barrister Zoe Tamanor, said that a strong opposition is a key attribute to democracy. As such, the President must do away with any antics whatsoever that may likely relegate the rule of law.
Let me tell you, Mr. Ngalari, if you can inform the President that Nigerians are doing a lot, that it's only this government that is frustrating ordinary Nigerian effort in building this nation. Having said that, like he said, in fact, there is an information that the governor, the River State governor, when he went for that meeting, the President directly approached him and said, why not you join APC? So it's a trend. They want to make this country a one-party state. I don't think they understand in a democracy run a party system There must be an opposition. In fact, the opposition is an alternative government. You cannot hear this kind of statement in America. There is no way the Democrats will call on the Republicans to join them. The only thing you will hear for the president when he has been elected, he will tell you, I am going to be a president for all Americans, whether you vote for me or not. They will never call, the Republicans will never call the Democrats to join them, because the parties come to power with ideologies. And these ideologies are different from one party to the other. It is because I do not agree with your ideology in your party that I joined this party. So calling me to join you for governance, you're telling me to leave my ideology, which I'll be using to checkmate your own ideology while you're in power, showing the citizens that, look, this is what we can offer that is better than what these people in power are doing. So it should leave the oppositions alone. The oppositions are doing their own. Individually, collectively, they are playing their part. To call an opposition with the trend of things, there's nothing wrong in calling the opposition to join. But your actions, okay, in the courts, the judgment that are coming out from the court, decisions you're taking in states that there are political crises, tilt towards you wanting to form a one-state party. I mean, a one-party state, rather.
Right.
So, if that is the case, why are you calling the opposition? Is it another way of, like the way you call Governor Wike, is it another way of calling the opposition party so they all become APC, so that you and your federal capital minister will now be in charge of everybody? Is that the idea?
He also maintained that Nigerians are doing their best for the growth of the nation and has been continuously hindered by insensitive leaders, corrupt politicians, and public office holders as it may.
So nothing, the Nigerian government and those in power have made Nigerians, brought them to the point that they can't even ask questions. You read the news recently. How many bank accounts Emefiele has? How many bank accounts? Billions of naira. So what concerns that wheelbarrow man? What concerns an Akada man, a taxi driver, with those billions of naira? So this is a level of disparity. So it is insensitive to now be calling on Nigerians to be asking for God. Is that not what they have elected?
Justice Congress has unveiled the timetable and schedule of activities for the upcoming February 3rd, 2024 by-elections, following the announcements by the Independent National Electoral Commission for the National and State Assembly by-elections. The timetable was posted on the party's X account on Monday and signed by the APC National Organizing Secretary Suleiman Mohammed Agungu. The sale of nominations, expressions of interest, and delegate forms will begin on Wednesday, December 27th, January 2nd, 2023. The last day for submission of completed expressions of interest, nomination forms, and delegates nomination forms with accompanying documents is Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. The primary elections will be held on Saturday, January 6th, 2024, while the election day is Saturday, February 3rd, 2024. The total price for the expression of interest and nomination forms for the Senate House of Representatives and House of Assembly is 20 million naira, 10 million naira, and 2 million naira, respectively. The statement noted that female aspirants and persons living with disabilities are to purchase the expression of interest form while the nomination form is free. It also stated that youths between the ages of 25 and 40 are to purchase the expression of interest form with a 50% discount on the nomination form. Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Sunday, December 24th, congratulated the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, on his 74th birthday. Akpabio, in his congratulatory message signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Honorable Simi Eyibo, described Ganduje as a great mobilizer, a stabilizer, astute politician, and an unrepentant progressive. The Senate President noted that Ganduje has been able to restore peace and sanity in the party in a few months of his leadership, praising him for his ingenuity in mobilizing people and instilling a sense of belonging to all party men. He said since Ganduje ascended the seat of national chairman, the hitherto rancorous atmosphere at the headquarters and in most state chapters of the party have been doused, and sanity is gradually returning to the party. The Senate President expressed confidence in Ganduje's ability to turn around the fortunes of the APC and help President Tinubu restore the faith of Nigerians in protect Nigeria through the provision of purposeful and development included leadership that would once again put smiles on the faces of average Nigerians. President Bola Tinubu has celebrated the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, on his 74th birthday, extolling the leadership hallmarks of the former governor of Kano State. The president described Ganduje as a thoroughbred Democrat who has devoted his life to the service of the people and Nigeria. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuru Ngelale, President Tinubu described Ganduje as a loyal friend and a dependable ally. While wishing Ganduje strength and good health, Tinubu implored the APC national chairman not to relent in his service to Nigeria. Peace Initiative Group have expressed hope in the Peace in Southeast project by the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu, and Southeast lawmakers to address the restiveness in the Southeastern region. The Chairman, Media and Communications of the group, PISEP, Mrs. Mary Ikoku, during a press conference in Abuja, noted that all is set for the unveiling of the Peace in Southeast project, as well as a grand reception of the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu, by the people of the Southeast. Mrs. Ikoku assured that the unveiling will provide a platform for the Southeast governors and aggrieved people in the state as well as other stakeholders to address the insecurity currently bedeviling the region.
The Southeast has been bedeviled with many years of unnice situation, insecurity, and all manner of agitations. And there's impact of the high level of insecurity in our region, the southeastern Nigeria. And just to say that we also recognize the ongoing efforts of the government, both at the federal and state level, at addressing the issues of insecurity in the Southeast, just like the government have done in every other part of the country. That said, it's also important that we realize that the Southeast, this is a group of people that are known for their entrepreneurship, for their enterprising nature, for their warmth, and there are a great number of daring people who can leave their space and go to any part of the world and they will survive anywhere. The Southeastern region are not people known to be violent people. So it beggars on us to begin to see how can we mainstream peace in the region. How can we begin to find a way at restoring the peaceful nature or the peaceful state which the Southeast is known for.
The project coordinator of PISEP, Mr. Bonaikoku, highlighted 8 pillars of the project which would be used as tools to fully develop the crisis-ravaged region, to include agriculture, education, leadership and good governance, sports and entertainment, culture and tourism, among others, as some of the vehicles for empowering and reintegrating the armed youth.
Tailor-made, sector-specific educational skill improvement for our people in the Southeast. 2, agriculture is something we've always been known for. So we're moving ahead to, provide, like I said, based on needs assessment that we've carried out, to have, the kind of crop, each crop for each location in the Southeast, add value to our product so that we can become a major player as regard when it comes to the global participation in export for agri products, and then also try to mitigate, do some level of import substitution, because a lot of things that are being imported into Nigeria are things that we can actually find locally, and these are things that we can add value and then begin to support the raw material, the raw material supply strategy in Nigeria will be efficient. 3, we're going to be promoting some level of infrastructural development to the Southeast, because some of the agitators have actually pointed to some level of infrastructure that are not found in the Southeast. We should be in the Southeast, because we can't be players in export, we can't be players in import, and in the global value chain, and then we don't have a seaport entertainment. We found out that that is one of the unifying factors in our nation, and some of our people from the Southeast have played critical role in the South in the sports.
Now to business news. Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Shipment Management Limited has signed a training agreement with the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety agencies to facilitate certificates of competency examinations for the beneficiaries of the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program. The COC examination is the final stage of the NSDP training, culminating in the acquisition of the COC license, which potentially opens the doors of global employment opportunities for the cadets. Speaking at an induction ceremony for NSML for 15 NIMASA's Romanian-trained NSDP beneficiaries, the NIMASA Director General, Dr. Bashir Jamor, highlighted the success of the collaboration between both parties in fostering the development of Nigerian seafarers. The NIMASA DG, who was represented by the agency's Director of Special Duties, Isechi Osambi, noted that NIMASA sincerely appreciates NSML for their leadership and vision in partnering the agency to support the development of seafarers and promotion of our local content on board their vessels. On his part, the Managing Director, CEO of NSML, Abdul Kadir Ahmed, said the organization is sponsoring 50 of the cadets to the South Shield Marine School in the UK for a 12-month program to get their certificates of competency required to trade on vessels globally. He said this is aimed at addressing the death of Nigerian seafarers on ocean-going vessels and the need to meet indigenous manning requirements in coastal and inland shipping cabotage. The signing of this training agreement between both parties, resulting in the commencement of COC for the first batch of Romanian-trained cadets, will go a long way in ensuring all backlogs of cadets awaiting COC are cleared. And now to international tidbits. Israel has pounded Gaza, excavating the dire conditions for civilians with no end in sight to the war. Hamas says has killed more than 20,000 people in the Palestinian territory. Christmas festivities in Bethlehem, the revered birthplace of Jesus Christ in the occupied West Bank, were effectively scrapped amid the conflict, leaving the usually vibrant streets with only a handful of worshippers and tourists. According to reports, the war erupted when Hamas militants broke through Gaza's militarized border and attacked southern Israeli communities on October 7, killing about 1,140 people, mostly civilians, and seizing 250 hostages. Meanwhile, Israel vowed to crush Hamas and launched a retaliatory military campaign in Gaza, including an extensive aerial bombardment that has killed at least 20,420 Eve at the Al-Maghazi refugee camp. And now to entertainment. American superstar singer Beyoncé's childhood home went up in flames on Christmas Day. Officials said they responded to reports of a fire at the home located in Houston's